The saddest guy ever. I was volunteering at a race while I was handing out water bottles right before the race began. Some guy turned to a random girl, put his hand up for a high five, and said, "You ready?" She wasn't having this and had her earbuds in. She just shook her head and smiled. He high fives her arm and says, "Come on, how ya doing?" She looks up, shakes her head again, and walks away. I had to turn away and laugh so this guy didn't see me laughing at him. He took his shot. Only thing he can do. Nurse thinks she caught me masturbating. I woke up early and was picking my nose. I went under the blankets just in case there are cameras. All of a sudden my nurse opens the door and I'm not ready for it. So I moved fast, in surprise, trying to look normal in a very suspect position. Knees up. It was too late. The fast movement to seem normal just made it worse. She closed the door and I still had my head under blankets thinking, great, she will never believe me. This is awkward. This is a sub for the TV show Awkward. Now this was awkward. Really? Lol, this is awkward, you sure? I just checked and PPL talking about awkward moments. Yeah, this is actually supposed to be for the show. No one realizes it. Trouble in the principal's office. So I'm in 7th grade and I visit the office or ICE quite frequently, but it's never been as awkward as this. It's Tuesday morning and I'm in the gym with my friends, and while getting dismissed to our classes a fight breaks out between two 8th grade girls and my first response is to take out my phone and record it. Around the time 5th period started I was called to the office. I knew from past experiences what was happening, so I deleted the videos off of my phone along with a couple sexy pictures a few girls had sent me, and also a few embarrassing pics. I was greeted by two of our principals, Ms. H and Mr. L. They told me why I was there, and they asked me to go to my gallery and delete the videos of the fight. I smugly went through my videos telling them that I never took my phone out. I'm assuming that by that time they knew about recently deleted BC. They told me to open it. There they saw the video of the fight, the pictures girls had sent me, and most embarrassing of all, he clicked on a picture I sent to my friends BC. It was funny as hell. It was a picture of man violently fucking another man in a minion outfit. Mr. L simply said, "I wish I could unsee that," as he continued to go through my phone. I tried so hard not laugh, but after about 10 seconds it got to me, and I was laughing so hard I almost fell out of the chair. I'm currently awaiting an ass whooping when my mom gets home. Wow. Bro F. I hope that a weird guy would hit on me, so I had an excuse to go. Well, so before I begin to tell the awkward as hell story, you all need to know I've got social anxiety and depression. And after a long time of not doing well, this was the first time I did something that scared me out. I felt like, yeah, fuck this, and gonna get some new friends. So these people I met were friends of a friend, and I already met them a few times but never alone. This time it was only 3 guys, the friends of my friend from school, and yes, so I didn't know what I expected, but almost all the time they were talking about stuff or girls and they didn't really include me. And I really tried to do some convo but it didn't last. All 3 of them are really nice, but I'm just awkward ugh. And then I went to the toilet. We were in a bar and some dude was looking at me. I wished he would like flirt with me and be weird or even try to kiss me, just so I has an excuse to go and be like, hell now I need to get out of here. Like, WTF is wrong with me? Well, at last I told them my mom told me I need to get home. Then my dad had to come and pick me up because there were no trains going to my place. Well, there were, but I would have waited 1 hour for a train. Well, I'm never gonna try to make friends again like this app. Just so you know, you won't get much traction in this subreddit because this is sub for the TV show called Awkward, but I'm gonna comment anyway. A friend told me some seemingly obvious but super helpful advice on not vibing with people. He said, sometimes you just don't click with people and that's okay. It may not seem very helpful, but I needed that reminder, the reminder that everything that went wrong wasn't solely my fault. You just feel more comfortable around some people and you just click. Oh, that's seriously awkward again, lol. Sorry, I didn't know it was for the TV series. And thanks for that advice. I mean, it's simple, but still I didn't even think about it. Weird that this post is recommended to me. Anyways, I'm somewhat sim. Why are they staring at me? Though I'm 16. And for anyone who reads this, it'll probably not be as awkward. Me being introverted, this is a high level of awkward. So, me as my young self, my dad, stepmom, and my 2 little sisters take a trip to Chuck E. Cheese while on summer break. Like every kid does, we waste as many tokens as possible, play as many games as possible, obtain as many tickets as possible, gain short-lived self-confidence, pride, and accomplishment. Then waste those tickets getting small prizes at the prize counter that we either gotten bored of, consumed, or break within a day or 2. So me being me, I decided to run off and play some games. I arrive at a Monopoly themed arcade game. I put my tokens in and started playing. Now I wasn't as observant as I'm now, but while I was playing some people were staring and watching me play. Little note not to be taken racially, I'm an African American, and in the area this Chuck E. Cheese was, there weren't many African Americans around, so the people watching were regular friendly Americans. In 2 minutes of gaining a small but plentiful stack of tickets, I started to notice them staring. Me, thinking, why are they staring? Is there something on my shirt, or are they waiting? I started to sweat and shake a bit, so I waddled off with my tickets. I got scared and regrouped with my family until we decided to leave due to an arriving party. So we cashed in our tickets at the ticket muncher. If you're wondering how many tickets we got in total, we got a small amount of candy, vampire teeth, a paddleball, and some Dollar Tree toys. If there's any mistakes I've made while typing, please tell me, because I'm on mobile. Sorry for any typos. Close bracket. Awkward cheek kiss. My sophomore year, I dated this guy who I was friends with for a while. He was super hesitant and didn't really do public displays of affection. So one day we were sitting in the commons with my friends and they all had their boyfriends with them. I told him he could kiss me if he wanted to. He didn't say anything, just kept looking at his phone. I stared at him for a good 10 seconds before turning my head to talk to one of my friends. Of course, right as I did that, the dude decided he would go for it. So there I was, my eyes super wide as this guy basically makes out with my cheek. He even had one of his hands cupping my other cheek as he did it. His eyes were closed. It took him a few seconds to realize it wasn't my lips and he snapped back into his chair. I laughed nervously and said, "You tongued my cheek." Wow XD. Finding out my stepsister is gay. I once got asked by my teacher to get some construction paper for the class. My high school had 2 floors. The bottom one was for sophomores and juniors, and the top was for seniors. The supply closet on the bottom floor was locked, so I went to the one on the top floor, opened the door, and saw my stepsister performing oral sex on another female student. They both saw me, and both looked mortified. I shut the door and ran back to class. I told my teacher the supply closet was locked, and she unlocked the bottom floor closet. After school my stepsister drove us home. She simply said, "Please don't tell anyone." I didn't know she was attracted to other women. Our parents didn't know. I never told anyone. I still haven't, even though she's out of the closet now, literally. Yeah, that's a little bit too awkward. I always take it just one snappy comment too far. Yay. So I feel like I do this a lot. I'm a department director, sitting at a meeting with other department directors and our boss. We meet monthly to strategize and discuss new hires, streamlining operations, and brainstorm. I should mention Kenny plays a saxophone pretty seriously. It's relevant. PS sorry for formatting. On mobile. M. Me. DD. Other department director. B. Boss. B. And I recently hired this guy, Kenny. M. You hired Kenny Teague. B. Yes. What's wrong with him? M. Somewhat theatrical, please fire him. B. Chuckle, what's the problem? M. His ego literally repels me. B. So you and him should get along just fine. M. Haha. That's a good one. I appreciate the burn. Lol. But for real. Everyone on campus knew about his top scholarship. Who knew about mine? No one. But Kenny? Everyone knew Kenny had a top scholarship because he made sure to tell everyone. Mine topped his, but you don't see me making sure everyone knows. B. Tell me more, with a half smirk and OBV being sarcastic about my clear lack of humility by the one-uppingness of my comment. M. He's just such an unpleasant personality. Was there something you liked about him? DD. Awkward chuckles. B. Makes comments at my expense in defense of Kenny Teague, which I roll with because he's quick-witted like that. M. Alright. B. From now on you're gonna have to run your new hires by me. Lolo. BV being tongue-in-cheek, acknowledging that it's not my job to demand someone be hired or fired. B. But what's wrong with him? And then I say the senseless awkward thing. M. Very theatrical. It's like Kenny Teague and Kenny G had a love child and made this saxophone that he's just completely conjoined to and makes everyone know he's the proud father of this child that has cost him the ability to relate to people. He's so unpleasant and wrapped up in himself and egotistical. DD. Awkward looks. B. Says something to break the silence. M. Ignores it at first, but as the day progresses, slowly slinks into my awkward cringiness. I was homeschooled. Backstory: so not every mom knows everything, so sometimes homeschoolers in a certain area will get together to be taught by the mom who knows about a thing best. We called them co-ops. For example, my mom was a journalism major, so she taught English/writing classes. So anyway, we in and sat prep co-op, and we met at this family's house. It had been a few weeks, so there was a approximate starting destination that people tended to stick to. In this case it ended up boys' side of the room and girls' side. One night the girls decided to change sides. This was a mistake because the girls' side had control of the ceiling fan that they always requested to be turned on 15 minutes in. I sit next to the fan switch. Most of this was no big deal. It was kinda whatever until my friend suggested, hey, it'd be funny if we just didn't turn the fan on. I thought this was a great idea, a good way to get back at them for stealing our spots. And of course, I'm the kid who always takes the joke way too far. It wasn't a joke. Once the girls requested the fan, I was full on committed to never turning on that fan. So it became a full on argument. I'm pretty sure I was asked to leave that night or something. Super awkward at the time. I was much later diagnosed with mild Asperger's, which explains why the joke always went too far, but it doesn't make me feel any less anxious by this memory. No, I don't want to hear about whales. English is my second language. This happened about 12 years ago. My best friend and I were about 16 years old and out shopping when a Greenpeace worker approached us and said, hello there, have you heard about some kind of endangered whale? My friend and I, being really fond of animals, were of course very interested, and I quickly reply, no, we actually don't, with a big welcoming smile. The Greenpeace worker looks very strangely at me and then walks away. At this point I'm extremely confused and asks my friend why he didn't tell us about the whales. She looks annoyed at me and says, well, you told him that we weren't interested, I don't get anything. And she says he asked us if we would like to hear about the whales, and you told him with a weird smile that we didn't. That means he said, would you like to hear about this whale? And I had looked him dead in the eyes and replied, no, we actually don't. With a huge smile. I was so embarrassed, but to this day it makes us laugh so hard. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.